Okay. Hello. Can you guys see the screen too? Or is it just me?
Nope, I can see the screen as well.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are in week 5, recovering a sense of possibility. And those of us that were here a little early, we were just talking about how hard it is at this point, how we're all kind of feeling the wall. This week, Julia Cameron starts, she says, this week you are being asked to examine your payoffs in remaining stuck. And boy, I feel really stuck. We were just talking about that. You will explore how to curtail your own possibilities by placing limits on the good you can receive. You will examine the cost of settling for appearing good instead of being authentic. And that's big for me. I always try to be nice and perfect and have all my shit together when I really don't. You may find yourself thinking about radical changes, no longer ruling out your growth by making others the cause of your constriction. And I realize I really make my husband the cause of my constriction. I feel very bad about it, but it's been, it's one of those things where it's easier to say that it's someone else that's stopping you from being happy or from getting things done or for being creative. Like this morning, I was telling a story about how I was doing the morning pages and he came in and was trying to talk to me and I was getting all upset. And then it just took me 5 seconds to be like, hey, I'm doing this meditation writing journal. And he was like, oh, you need 10 minutes. I'll be right back. I mean, completely fine. That was all me. um, so in terms of the artist check-in and the process here, morning pages have been sucking. I'm doing them, but I'm struggling. Though I will say this week I've been out sick. I don't know if you saw the replay last week. I was really sick. This week I'm doing better. And because I've been working less and taking more time and trying to heal, I have been doing better with my morning pages because I've had more time to do them and connect to them. My artist date was today because I called out sick and I painted and I made jewelry and I made soup and jello and I wrote some recipes down that I'd been carrying around that my sister sent me that I didn't have in my recipe box. It was just a very beautiful, nurturing day today. I'm drinking cacao right now and talking to, my friends here on the Artist Way. So that feels good. Um, and how's it? Does anybody else want to do a check-in?
I actually, for some reason, went to the dollar store today and I got
Nice.
myself like Play-Doh.
Nice.
And one of them specifically I got because it had the oh my God, like sand toys, like the little mold
Yeah,
for the Play-Doh, but it was shaped like shells. So I don't know. I'm
I
really
love
into
that.
like the mermaids and water and I miss the ocean and I want summertime. So
Oh,
like I kind of wanted to do that. I have yet to like play, but I needed to do that for myself because I do nanny part-time. So like I do that with kids or I do what they want to do and I'm like, you know what? I need to just have fun.
yeah. I love the smell of Play-Doh too. There's just something
Yes.
about it. It makes you feel like young and alive
Mm-hmm.
and salty and sparkly and happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I like sculpting too. I didn't realize how like creative I am. Like my mom can sketch really well. My brother was winning painting awards when he was like just entering his double digits. Like my
Hmm.
sister is amazing. And I always was just like, I'm the good girl and I'm logical and I just
Mhm.
do what I'm supposed to do. And like I'm like, no, like I love doing all these things and like it's I don't know, there's something about the texture and like I don't know, even using tools to make something into, I don't know, like a Christmas tree or whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
just so soothing to me, and it's just like, so yeah, that's what I look forward to.
Oh, that sounds I think I'm gonna have to go get Play-Doh now. That's such a great idea. I love it. It's funny you brought up that your siblings too, because that's definitely a thing in my family too. Like my whole family is visual artists except for me. I'm the only not visual artist. I'm the performance artist. And and I've always, it's interesting that there's this kind of like in siblings, this like where we respect and admire our siblings so much in their art that it almost makes us afraid to do or try our own art.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just be artists. Let's just keep doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Any synchronicities or any fun for anybody?
I spent most of the week visiting my sister up in New Hampshire, which was the whole trip was so nurturing
Oh,
because I
good.
adore my sister, and we lost my dad when he was just 42. I was 14, she was 20 or 19. And we opened up a box of all stuff from him that my mom had kept. So it was like this very beautiful healing.
Oh.
We went through his wallet that he had. My mom had never gone through it. And all we had was pictures of us in there, and it was just so beautiful. Yeah, so that was really special. And then in the midst of it, we went to a beautiful little rock store, so I get some new crystals, which was awesome. But I think right now I'm just kind of floaty from that. In terms of morning pages have been sporadic. I have done them a few times. It's not daily.
It's all right. We're trying.
Um, but I've been using big paper too, so I'm like, gotta really get it out of me.
I actually brought a smaller notebook.
That's
Big
awesome.
one, and I was like, I can't do it. I went down to a smaller size. I'm doing my 3 pages, but I am cheating a little.
I was thinking about it as I was writing, like, I don't know the size of the thing. It's really funny. I'm like, well, if I do 1 page, it's almost like 3 pages if it was a smaller notebook.
Yeah, it's 3 pages. It's whatever you want to make those pages. Oh, that's funny.
And the weather's just been so blah that I haven't wanted to go out and do an artist date, to be honest, outside of the house. Yeah, I've just been kind of moping around a bit besides the floatiness from that. My like day-to-day life, I've just been like, oh, I just want to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Sleeping can sometimes be the most magical experience of all.
True. That's true. My dreams have been pretty vivid and amazing.
Ooh, all right. Yep.
Huh, hadn't even thought of that.
Writing in the morning does help remember dreams.
Yeah.
And I've been noticing that too. Like I tend to say, oh, I never dream. I never dream. Unless it's a very vivid dream. And then I'm like, I know I dreamt. But doing the morning pages, every once in a while, I'll have like a little snippet of like, oh, I remember this weird thing in a dream. And then I'll just keep going. So it is kind of bringing in more of those background dreams for me, which I think is nice. I wish I dreamt more. I think
Yeah, I
I'm
usually don't
tired.
remember them, but like you said, it's definitely increasing. So I
Yeah.
didn't even put it together. That's really cool.
Nice, nice. Let's see. This week for me about possibilities was, I mean, I really feel like I've really been thinking about stuck and kind of working with that and trying to open up to more possibilities because I'm working this part-time job and I'm really, really good at it. And they want me to go full time. And I don't want to go full time because my priority is my family and getting them to school and dropping them off. But then I'm also resentful about having to do that. And I am trying to be a spiritual teacher and a healer and have a small business. And that takes a lot of time. being an artist and a free spirit, and that balance of like, you know, I'm a Taurus rising, so I'm very logical, and I'm also a Gemini moon. So
Oh, I'm a Gemini moon.
so I'm like, I'm all over the place. You get it, right? Like
Oh yeah.
I want freedom, I want play, I want safety, I want security. And it's like trying to open up to more possibilities. And I can, and the thing that kept just really making me mad this week is like, I don't even know what I really want. And that's the part, as like someone who manifests your world, and I'm a believer that I attract and create what I want. I'm realizing how muddy I am and that I don't really know what I want. So opening up to more possibilities to me feels stuck. You know, what do I want? What do I really want? What's going to make me happy? And I don't know the answer to that, but I do like how she keeps having us go back to, you know, these imaginary lives, and you know, the morning pages, the things that pop up, and doing the artist date, and figuring out where we want to go and what we want to do. But the virtue trap quiz, I don't know if you guys did that, but you can just look at it right now. But the biggest lack in my life is silliness. We were talking about this. Like, I'm so serious, and I'm so focused on getting the bills paid and getting the kids to school and packing their lunches and making a good dinner and being the good mom and living the good life and doing this, that like, I feel kind of resentful about that, but I also can't imagine my life not doing that, because that's my whole reason. Does that make sense? It's hard when the things that we want to do, we kind of don't want to do. Like, I want to Thelma and Louise, or do a vacation, or do something different, or mix it up a little bit, but I don't really know how to do that. The greatest joy in my life is definitely my family, but I also feel tired about it. You know what I mean? Because it's a long-term joy. It's not that kind of buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want to feel joy again. And it feels like it's been a long time since I felt that visceral feeling of joy. And usually when I feel joy, it's when I dance. There's something about when I dance, when I move my body, I love it. But I'm not as comfortable in my body as I was 20 years ago. So it's about trying to figure that out too, like comfort in my body, grace and ease in my body. You know, there's this one, I'm going to try to commit to how I'm feeling. I found out that there's a West African dance class in Keene on Wednesday nights. I'm not sure if I can do it next week, but I am going to commit before the end of this Artist Way class that I am going to get to that West African dance class, because I feel like that is along the lines of like what the breadcrumbs of the universe shows me for happiness and joy. I really feel like I've got to try to dance more or figure that out somehow. Anybody else have anything to add on as you're looking at the virtue trap quiz? Anything that pops up for you?
In a similar way as I was thinking of my greatest joy is absolutely my family as well. It's really neat. My kids are older. My oldest is 21 and my youngest is 17 going on 18. And it's seeing the relationships change and shift and getting to know them as, you know, people, as grown ass adults. Is really neat. And to realize that, you know, in addition to all loving each other, we genuinely like each other, which is such a blessing.
That's what I want more than anything. That's what I'm trying to cultivate now, as much as possible.
You know, they still have their bickers and, you know, it happens, but I see them seek each other out and it's really special. And that makes me happy.
That's awesome.
And, you know, and I worry about many things, many things. I'm a fretter. I fret. It's something that I'm working on in my own practice. It's as bad as it is, or as bad as it can be. It's eons better than it was 2 years ago or a year ago. but
How have you
it's,
fixed it? What have you done?
you
to
know
get
what,
there?
I use a formula. It's like an acronym kind of, and it basically helps me separate circumstance, like the facts of the situation, versus my thoughts and emotions. It helps me also track down what actions are being fueled by my thoughts and emotions. And I find that once I can separate like facts from what I'm bringing to the table, it's often much smaller a concern than I realized.
What's the acronym?
It's not, it doesn't spell anything, but it's CTFAR. It's circumstance, thoughts, feelings, actions, results.
Okay, I like it.
And it's brilliant. And it's helped me so much kind of just pull apart all that crap.
Hold on, I'm going to write that again. What does it say it again?
CTFAR.
CTFAR. Say, what are they for again?
Circumstance,
Yeah.
thoughts,
Yeah.
feelings, actions, results. And the more you do it, the more you come to realize that the results are being fueled by the actions, which are directly being fueled by your thoughts. So therefore, your results are always going to prove your thoughts true.
So it's kind of like when something happens, you stop and talk to the reaction to figure
Yeah.
out what it is. I love it.
Yeah. And that's been incredibly helpful. And of course, a lot of grounding. I think my grounding practice is really, really, I mean, I've always found it easy to ground, but something has shifted in that it's a lot easier for me to release. The releasing piece is easier than it used to be.
Yeah. It's interesting. My mother, I said she passed away just at the end of March last year, and my brother and I have been talking a lot actually about our childhood. And he's really gotten me watching this woman called the Crappy Childhood Fairy. And she's been talking a lot about talking to your feelings and like regulating emotions. And so my brother and I have been bonding a lot about the dysfunction in our childhood in terms of dealing with emotions, and how that's trickling into our adult life and into our parenthood. His kids are older, mine are younger, but I was, on Sunday, I got really mad because my kids misplaced something and I couldn't find it. And I ended up like rage cleaning the entire living room to find it. And, and he was like, Paige, he's like, and I was like, I never found it. And he was like, no, he was like, you should have gone for a walk. And I was like, and so we were talking about that same kind of like heightened emotions when it kind of is like an octopus that just kind of like weighs you down, and you can't really quite process out of it, and how a lot of it comes from like post-traumatic experiences over a long term, over your childhood. It's how you react, it's how you respond. So I love this circumstance, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. It's because it's very similar to that same conversation that we've been having, that I'm starting to look at new too, because I'm starting to realize, like, even in this like virtue trap quiz, like I sabotage myself very often. Often it's because I'm trying to always be the nice person, but then I can crack easily if I get too overwhelmed, because I let it go far. I have to learn how to let myself feel it and talk to the anger and figure out, whenever I get angry, it's because a boundary was crossed, and it's a boundary that often I didn't even know was a boundary. And my anger is the gift in telling me this was just a boundary that was crossed, and you should know to communicate it in the future so it doesn't happen again. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to work on in terms of, okay, calming myself down, noticing the world and noticing my reactions to how my feelings are, because they're so intense, especially going through grief. Like it's bigger than I'm used to. And being able to like process it in the moment is a lot harder than it used to be right now.
Yeah, I've had a long and intimate walk with grief. Since 2018, I've lost a lot of people, including both of my parents. And the one thing I've come to realize about death is, and I call her she, I don't know why, but I always say she, I'm like, I think it reminds me of Durga and Kali, and just
Yes,
comes
I was
in.
just gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
Yep. But she's been my greatest teacher, but damn, she's not easy. Like,
Mm-mm.
I mean, she only asks of you just who you really are at your soul level. And it's like, whew, who am I at my soul level? So I can relate, because my journey with grief has been the hardest of all of my paths that I've walked in my life.
My dad died when I was 15, but I didn't really know him, so it didn't affect me the same way it has with my mom, because it was always just me and my mom in many ways.
Yeah.
And it's an experience that I thought I had all the spiritual tools in the toolkit to handle. And I've realized how difficult it is, which makes my heart just go out to those people who are dealing with grief that don't have
Mm-hmm.
the tools that I've had in my toolkit, which I know have made it easier for me, even though it's been very difficult.
Yeah.
And so it's the thing about grief is just understanding that it's so completely different for each person, and it is so wildly different from day to day. That's the thing that has surprised me the most, because most healing, there's a trajectory and it gets better. But with grief, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's
I
wild.
call them grief ambushes. You'll just be sitting there,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it
Yes.
ambushes you.
Yes. So true.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and doing work like this, it really brings up a lot of these deep, dark things that we're trying not to look at.
Yeah.
One of our favorite tricks of blocked creatives is saying no to ourselves. It's astonishing the number of small ways we discover to be mean and miserly with yourselves. I am the queen of this. Oh my God. When I read this, I felt so called out.
Mm-hmm.
I do this. I say yes to my kids all the time, and then I say no to myself. I'll buy them their $20 shampoo, and I'll get the $3 stuff at the dollar store. You know what I mean? Like I was like, wow, I've really got to stop self-martyring. It's not helpful. And that's where I was kind of realizing, like, oh, I'm, kind of feeling resentful at my kids, and, the mom life and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of it's my fault. My husband would never say no to me for things that I want, but I say no to myself all the time. Like somehow that's making me a better mom. And it's not. It's not.
I
So,
realized, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
It's so funny. I have fallen into the same trap, and it is very easy for me to fall into that trap if I'm not very vigilant. I realized a few years back now that I had inherited my grandmother's husband died when she was, in her early 40s. My father died when my mom was in her early 40s. So they were single moms,
Yeah.
And I very much, even though my mom did, remarry not that long after, she still was the one raising me.
Yeah.
I inherited this vision of a good mom being tireless and, sacrificing everything. And, parenthood is so hard. And I was like, that's not the energy I want to pass on to my kids about being their parent.
That's what I realized this week, because my mom, same thing, single mom. She raised me. It was my brothers and sisters. There's huge age differences, 15 between my brother Andy, 12 between my sister and I, and 9 between my brother Craig and I. So big age differences. So when I say it was just me and my mom, it really was. And she sacrificed everything for me. And that was the model that I had. And I realized that I have been connecting and bonding with my mom in martyrhood, especially this last year, more than I've ever done.
Huge realization.
Huge. Like how much I'm saying no to myself. Like, I know it's silly, but like I've got all these gray hairs. I have put off my hair appointment to get my hair dyed for like 7 months. Like I keep canceling it. And I was like, and it was this week, I kind of was like, oh my God, like I'm not allowing myself to have pleasure right now. these forbidden joys, I am sacrificing myself as on some odd level to make myself feel better as a mom, as a daughter, as a woman.
Mhm.
And I really need to start. And that's why like today was really self-care. I was like, I'm going to listen to my music. I'm going to do my art. I'm going to just call out. It doesn't matter. Like I
Mhm.
have to start taking care of myself more. I really, really have to take care of myself more.
Oh, now it makes today even extra awesome for you. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, hopefully I can stick to it. That's the thing. It's like I have these realizations, but then, like putting it into a daily practice. And that's why groups like these are good, wherever you are in the weeks, if we can be together and support each other, having someone, even tonight, I knew there was a Zoom at 8 o'clock. I didn't want to do it, but I'm like, I have people. This is important. I want to do this. And it helps because that keeps me on track too. Oh, I liked this wish list exercise. A lot of it for me was, you know what I realized I think I want to try? Have you seen the people with like the really pretty mermaid hair, like the purples and the blues?
I had purple and blue
Mhm.
tie-dyed hair for like 3 years.
I
It's
think I'm
so
gonna
fun.
try it. I kept going back. I want mermaid hair. Like, oh, I want blue hair. And I was like, damn, I have to do something with my hair.
Do it, do it, do it. I
Oh,
never had a moment of regret. Like there was never a point when I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like I loved it. And I'm about to go back to doing it again.
well, one of these days you might see me with mermaid hair because it was definitely coming up on my wish list.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I even in the exercise she had you do that like vision board for
Mm.
Pinterest. And so I was pinning on Pinterest all this like really fun mermaid hair. I was like, I've got like it's like half my board is fun mermaid hair.
Awesome.
And then it'll go with Ashley's seashells and Play-Doh theme, right?
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a theme.
There is a thing. I like vision boards. Like I'm a big vision
Mm.
boarder. Like I have my vision board up on my wall. I do them in my journal like once a month at least. I love that kind of collage experience. That's actually, now that I think of it, like that feels like my most comfortable visual art medium. I love collages. I love it.
Ah.
And Pinterest and things like that. So it was kind of fun. I made a whole new board on Pinterest and I was putting like pictures of like my imaginary lives usually have something to do with like either being a monk or being a rock star somewhere in between. And I guess I'm kind of somewhere in between. Uh, um, but the mermaid hair, we'll see, we'll see. I don't know if I'm ballsy enough. That would be a big risk for me.
Mm.
It makes me want to do it even more.
Mhm.
If I were 20 and had money, man, if I were 20 and I had money, there are so many things. One of my biggest regrets when I was 20 is I got into an acting program. It was like a year-long program, but it cost a lot of money. And I didn't do it. And I
Mm.
really wish that I had. And then I got into the actor studio in New York City, one of the best
Wow.
master's programs in the country, and I didn't go because of money.
Mm.
And I was really thinking a lot about that. I'm like, I have said no to myself on so many things because I didn't want to go into debt or I didn't want to spend
Mm.
the money because honestly still paying off my college loans. So I mean, uh, but if I'd gone back, I'm like, fuck it. I was gonna be in debt anyway. I should have done these things.
Mm.
And I wish that I had done them. And so now I'm kind of at this point, if I was 60 and had money, I'm like, I'm just gonna like I don't have a lot of money. Abundance next week is all about abundance. I'm
Mm.
gonna start really trying to work on creating and manifesting more abundance and like raising this threshold that I've created for myself. And again, I think it's the way I connect to my mom. We were raised really poor. I kind of have this kind of like you know, good martyr, in terms of abundance, like spirituality is connected to poverty. Like I've got all these roots. I've been working on them for so long, but I'm kind of feeling like done with it. Like, especially when you start looking at your life through these, like these weekly prompts and looking at how simple it is and how common it is, that it's nothing special about me to be focused on lack. Like if I want to be better than that. I want to you know, offer more for myself, for my children. I want to be able to travel Europe by the time I'm 65. I want to go to Rome. I want to go to, you know, I want to go to Glastonbury, UK and go to the stone circles. I want to go to Scotland and sleep in a castle. Like I want to do these things. And that was definitely something that I was like, I've really got to start. I've got to stop myself from being blocked, because the only thing that it's doing is creating resent for my life, and I have a beautiful life. And the only person that's blocking myself really is my own limitations. And the only payoff for being blocked is that I get to complain, and I don't want to complain. I want to help other people. I want to be better. I want to get past this. This is the time. You know, it's not worth it anymore.
Oh, your words resonate deeply for me. Definitely. I can really, similar
I feel like
money
we're all
blocks.
getting ready for a leap. It feels like between the eclipse season and the new moon, you know, we're in Aries, we've got the spring. It just feels like there's a leap. And I feel like a lot of us are feeling tired and dragged down and energetically low, but I think it's because we're shifting. I feel this shift collectively, especially for the light workers and the healers and the artists, you know, and the entrepreneurs. I feel like we're like, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
chaos is all around us, so there's no reason to stay stuck anymore. When the world is in this much chaos, then it means it's time to change.
Yep. Yep.
We can't keep doing the same old thing. We just can't.
Yeah. I always tell my clients, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. Absolutely.
You want different results, you
love
have to
that.
put in different effort.
Yes.
Like, it's so simple, but yet.
It's so simple, but yeah. But the thing, but it's reminding. We all need reminders. You know, and that's where this is, you know, these books are good, right? These limits.
Oh, yeah.
What does she say? In the very first paragraph of this book, she says, one of the chief barriers to accepting God's generosity is our limited notion of what we are in fact able to accomplish. We may tune into the voice of the creator within, hear a message, and then discount it as crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, happens to me all the time. Oh, that's a silly idea. That won't work. What am I doing? Am I going backwards?
Or my favorite, well, that won't work for you.
Right.
Like, other people
Yeah.
can have those wonderful successes, but not
Yeah,
you.
that's for people in the clouds. That's not for me.
Yeah.
This was from last week, but I wanted to bring it in again. I've really been feeling the call to like let go and to make way for the new. Like, one of the things I did today actually was I went through 3 boxes of old mail, like literally unopened junk mail, that I have just had my head in the sand and not been able to do it. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I've got a Tupperware crate filled with junk mail and mail that I've just never opened because you know, so my goal is to declutter. My goal is to start in some subtle ways opening myself to more possibilities, because my mom was a hoarder, like in full disclosure. Like, she was incredibly clean and organized, but she was a child of the Depression, right? Like her mom, you know, she was a baby boom, and like my mom used to clean out Ziploc bags and buy them out. I still do that because it's better for the environment, but I'm looking around my house and I'm going, nope, I can't. Everything's got to have its place, and I've got to start cutting down and putting things. So today I was walking around the house. I'm like, don't put it down, put it away. And I'm trying to find places to put things, because the chaos can get overwhelming. And that's when I get emotionally unregulated, when I don't know where things are, when I can't find anything, when it feels messy. And some of that's my own fault because I'm just collecting and I'm not putting things away. I'm not throwing things away.
Yeah.
It's time to let go.
Mm.
So we're moving into the mid-weeks. This first early weeks, we've been identifying the internal blocks. Right now, like I think now I'm starting to open up a little bit of playfulness and new experiences. So I think we're kind of like in the middle weeks.
Yeah.
Then moving on to intuition and trusting the process. And then towards the end, we'll be, embracing the mystery of our creative process. So keep going. I know we're all kind of in different places. We're trying with the morning pages. Some are doing great with it. Some aren't. Sometimes we're going back 2-3 weeks. It doesn't matter where you are. Just don't give up because it's a really good, that's the one thing I'm feeling good about it. And I know I'm getting a lot out of it if I cannot give up, if I cannot be afraid of my own shadows.
Yep.
Let's see, next week, and I think this is going to be a big turning point for me. I'm feeling it, recovering a sense of abundance because I'm seeing how much of my own possibilities and lack comes from I'm just blocking myself.
Yeah.
So, in perfect timing, she says we are going to work next week on recovering a sense of abundance. Next week, we will tackle a major creative block, money. You are asked to really look at your own ideas around God, money, and creative abundance. The essays will explore the ways in which your attitudes limit abundance and luxury in your current life. You will be introduced to counting, a block-busting tool for clarity and right use of funds. This week may feel volatile. Money is always pretty volatile for me, so I'm ready. But I do a lot with abundance, and I work with my guides a lot, and it's one of the things that I do is I've been checking in. I found this old journal today. So I check in with my guides and I ask where I am on a 3-dimensional vibration of money, where I am on a 5-dimensional vibration, and then like where I am for manifestation. And like right now I was in my journal and I'm at like, no, I'm in like the hot here. I'll look it up. Should I give you an exact number? Where is it? So let's say. Okay, so right now, my vibrational 3D is 41. My spiritual vibration is 62, and my manifestation is 36. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It's kind of, I can kind of tell, where I'm, where I am, because from God's perspective, I'm, completely abundant, unlimited amounts of money. But I'm not quite ready to claim it, right? And then on the 3-dimensional level is what I'm actually manifesting in my real world. And so I'm always trying to like increase my spiritual bank account so I can increase my physical vibrational account. And then the 4D for me is like how I'm actually manifesting in this world. And I looked back to last year at this time, I found this journal, and last year I was in the 20s. And I was shocked because I started doing this about a year and a half ago. And I hadn't realized I'd been making any progress. And then I was like, wow, I'm actually making progress. And it was a nice thing to see. So it feels volatile sometimes. And, when we're looking at money and we're looking at the world and our relationship to it, it doesn't never quite feels enough. But then here I am, I've got like tangible proof with my guides that I am making progress. And it felt really good. Like it felt like a win.
That's huge.
Yeah, thanks. Let's see. So next week, same time, same place. I am going to stop sharing that. Perfect. Wow. Feels good to connect. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you. I need
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I know I talk a lot, but it makes me feel so nice to have someone to talk to and to be in the circle together. I appreciate you guys so
it.
much.
Absolutely. It's needed. And it's so good to be with other women. It really, really, really
Really
is.
is.
Yeah. Cannot overemphasize how good that feels.
Yes, yes. Because, you know, like even the morning pages and things like that, when you're doing it on your own, it's just like you're like hamster on the wheel. Being able to know that we're all a little crazy. It feels,
Yep.
it feels a little better, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, is there anything else you guys want to share before we sign off for the night?
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, let me just send some blessings for possibilities for both for everyone here. Now we're on the replay. Just thanking you all so much for being here and for committing to this journey and this sacred circle together. And I just wish and send blessings to all of you for unlimited possibilities, for being able to find your happiness, for being able to connect to your thoughts and feelings and learn in the moment, so that way we can live a life of grace and ease and joy and love and creativity and art. And just sending so many blessings to you and your week and your days and each and every heartbeat and each and every breath. I wish you all the blessings that life has to offer. Amen.
Thank you. And so it is.
Thank you.
So it is. All right, my friends. Good night. I will see you next week.
All righty. Everyone have a good week.
Good night.
You too.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.